Let's see what we have in the refrigerator and the cupboards that we can cook up. We want to use the oldest food first, especially if there's produce from the garden or from the store that might be going bad. We need to use that up. Let's see what we have in here. Celery's been in here for quite a while. I need to use this, so we're going to get this out. Turnip chips sound good. Peppers, I want to use them in something. Whatever I use them for might include carrots. These are some onions. You know, young onions from the garden. Kale. Okay, I'll tell you about that. My husband's experience with kale recently, because it changes up. We'll be talking about that. These are beet greens, chives from the garden. Now here's some produce I'll be cooking up today, and I've already washed this produce, and that includes a zucchini from the garden. This is a large one, and I've been doing this for years, and I'm definitely thinking to make some kind of a vegetable soup. Over here in the sinks I have vegetables from the garden, the turnips, and I need to clean these. See, they haven't been cleaned yet. And these are the beet greens that we'll be using. So this is going to be an interesting cooking day. My husband's going to be like, what's up with all these vegetables? So I'll have to look in the cupboard and see what meat we have that we can put with these meals. And here it is, Keystone ground beef in a can. So let's try this, and I'll let you know how it tastes. If you've tried this before, let me know if you like it. Green chili enchilada. I've been craving some Mexican. And we have these also, these tortillas, corn tortillas. I'm probably going to need this cream of celery soup for one of the casseroles. And I need to work on the turnips first. So my plan is to do all of these chips on one big tray. Actually, we'll need 2 trays. The turnips need to start first because they take the longest. We are going to make a snack. That's the first thing we're going to do. I like them. I don't like them real thin, but since they're chips, you could thin might be good because they'll be crispier the thinner you slice them. And you can use potatoes in place of the turnips for this recipe also, which is fine. Most people like potatoes better anyway. Let's mix in some olive oil, season with garlic salt and pepper. And I'm going to mix that in, everything together here. Give a massage with that olive oil and seasoning. Then we're going to put these in the oven. 425 for 15 minutes. Now, these turnips are going to be for the soup. I'll just put them in here and hold off on that when the time comes. I cut it in half. Cut off the stem. Cut off the back. I don't like to waste any if I can help it. Okay, how are we going to do this? This way. We're going to see how many seeds are in this. Very little seeds, by the way. Let's get the seeds out. These are big, but they're perfectly edible. I've been doing this for years. Don't let anyone tell you to throw these away. That is complete nonsense. It's just the fine chefs like smaller zucchinis like this one. Yep, and I had them in my garden. I picked them because I do like the taste of this for stir fries and other recipes, like cooking on the stove with zucchinis. And I could just slice them this way with the seeds, and it would be okay with my husband, by the way. I've got some sliced up. I'm going to eat one right in front of you to show you. Now, this may not be as tender as the small ones. That's one of the reasons people think that you should only harvest, you should harvest your zucchini as soon as it's 6 to 8 inches. Perfectly edible, very firm, last a lot longer than cucumbers. Got some zucchini chips in here, and they're shaped like melons, like when you slice melon. I would have left the seeds if it had been to me. I just wanted to show you what it was like, but it didn't have very many seeds. Okay, I've got the zucchini on a pan. I saved some room for the kale chips, which we'll be adding after these bake for a little while. Added the same seasoning to the kale. I'm using very small pieces of kale. My husband decided he's not a fan of kale chips. He loved them 2 years ago, and last year he liked them okay, but then this year I made them once, and he just was not thrilled with them. I don't know why. He changes up. His appetite changes up a little bit. Due to the water content of zucchini, it does not turn out in a chip form unless you dry it thoroughly. I did not intend on this being chips. I just called them chips because they're shaped something like chips. This will be served as a vegetable side dish. But I'm going to cook them longer, so they may firm up better. Let's get this in the oven. Get busy here. The turnip chips are more than done for my satisfaction. I did not put a whole lot of olive oil because I want to make that last the rest of the month. And also, too much oil is not necessary in your diet. So I kept them light on the oil. But they almost look like they're dehydrated. I've got one right here. This one has just the right amount of salt. Really good. And it's so healthy. That's what I like about it. So I did some prep cooking here for snacks and for meals. But now from here on, I'm going to do cooking, and it will already be in progress. And like there might be a pot of soup and you'll see it cooking, and I'll chit chat with you and we'll go from there. And then I'll be doing a dessert coming up. I've got a pot of soup cooking with the turnips, and I chopped up some carrots and celery to put into this. And I'm in the process of chopping up some shallots. But as you can see, I've got plenty of carrots in there. Ooh, yeah, to add color. One thing I would be at least one potato. I call this my pantry closet. I have some store-bought potatoes here, but I believe, see, these skins are thicker, so they'll last longer than the new ones I picked from the garden. But I am looking at these to see if there's any that are going bad or soft. This one's pretty soft. Okay, we may use that one. Okay, but the rest of them, okay. Just one. It feels like it doesn't belong with the others, but we should use this one up. But I want one more. I think we're going to get that from the back room where I stored my garden potatoes. See, I have my potatoes stored here, lined out for them to dry because I didn't want to wash them yet because they'll go bad if you wash them. And these are very thin-skinned newbies from the garden, new potatoes that I just harvested. So I'll pick one of these. Hard. They're all hard. I'll just kind of look them over and then I'll make my decision. I'll take it out to the kitchen. And then meantime, I may pick a garlic also. There seemed like there was one that was partly open. I don't need the garlic yet. I think I'm going to use that for a Mexican dish coming up. I'm just going to clean these up and I'm going to put them in the soup. There we go. I cut them smaller than I did the turnips because I'm behind on adding them and I want them to cook up in time, you know. There's some beef bouillon, powdered form. Seasonings will be thyme. I'm just adding a little vinegar. Okay, I got the shallots chopped up in here. Soup is done. This is what it looks like without the meat, and it tastes fresh and it's very tasty. You can add garlic powder, extra salt, extra vinegar, whatever, hot sauce, whatever you want to add to it. All right, we're going to try it. Here it is. I'm going to give it a taste test. Oh boy. Here's the moment of truth. It's already fully cooked. Just like roast beef. It doesn't have that much salt. It's not loaded with sodium or anything like that. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think it will be a great addition to the soup. I'm going to break this up. It's better quality than hamburger, I'll tell you that. I almost want to call this hamburger soup, but this beef tastes like roast beef. I added a little bit more with some of that gravy from the can also. I think this will make him happy. I hope so. It looks like corned beef a little bit. And this would be great with some cabbage if you have cabbage. And if you don't want to use turnips, then I understand. Not everyone likes turnips. Just replace it with potatoes. Now I have a pie crust rolled out and I'm making little mini pies for this muffin tin. So I'm going to use the cup, the rim of this cup, for the bottom. And then for the top, I'm going to use this little biscuit cutter. Then you can just kind of stretch it around the rim a little bit. Then we have our smaller ones. Yeah, these will be for the top crust. These little mini, tiny, little mini pies. That's one of the, that's going to go on top like this. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now I'm just mixing my blueberry filling with sugar and lemon juice and cornstarch. And I'll be filling in the tins and cover them with pie crust. Now I'm sticking them in a preheated oven at 425 Fahrenheit for 18 to 22 minutes. And here are little messy mini blueberry pies that did not seal very well. I thought I sealed them well enough, but when they're cool, we'll see what they look like. But I had so much fun making these, much more fun than just making a regular pie, I'm telling you. And here's our little homemade mini pies. And one of them fell apart and it's in the middle, so it's the star of the show. But I tried to make it look pretty. So here we go. On a very strict budget, used very little, only used a cup and a half blueberries for this because it's half a recipe. But I managed to make 8. But next time I will just make 6, and the bottom crust I'll use a larger cup to fill the whole muffin tin with pastry dough. Next, we're going to be cooking 2 casseroles simultaneously. So we're going to make zucchini potato casserole. The other side of the oven is going to be enchiladas. Enchilada, you can call it casserole because I'm going to put sauce. This green sauce I'm anxious to try. And this is going to contain that beef from the can that is really, really delicious. Here are some of the ingredients I'm going to use in the potato zucchini casserole. I'm going to be shredding up half of a large zucchini. I may not use all of that. I'll be putting some in the freezer for a later time. Some new potatoes, a carrot from the garden. This is the largest one I harvested so far. The other ones are very small, got a long way to go. And this came from the store. I'm only going to use about half of this red pepper. And we'll also be using eggs and a few other ingredients. I'm shredding the zucchini separate from the potatoes. These seeds are very tender at this stage. If this was an older zucchini, I would be removing the seeds. These are perfectly edible and very soft. It will work out just fine. Over here, I've got my grated zucchini in a strainer. Okay. I'm gonna weight it down with this bowl into a bowl. The liquid's gonna go into the bowl. So this is a process. I want to get that liquid out of the zucchini because it will not be able to produce a crispy enough casserole that's desirable for my husband. He does not want a mushy casserole. And you know what? I don't either. So that's a good, I learned this on Celebrating Appalachia. In a saute pan, I have chopped red pepper, green onion. I've shredded some potatoes and carrots. I'm going to let this saute for just a few minutes. And I'm going to throw in the shredded potatoes and carrots. Mix that all together. I guess the idea is to infuse the flavor of the onion and pepper with the olive oil into the potatoes and the shredded carrots in this case, and give them a head start before we combined everything with the shredded zucchini and put it in the oven with the salt and pepper. Mixed the peppers and green onion with the zucchini, the shredded zucchini. Everything's mixed together here. A little salt. I'm just going to season the egg because this egg is going to pull everything together, so you need flavor, especially, garlic powder. Yeah. Put that in here, and we got one more ingredient, shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Mix that in really good. Here we go, things together here. Now is a good time to turn your oven on to 375. It will not take any time at all to make the enchiladas. And we're going to be putting both casseroles in the oven at the same time. Okay, I decided to use avocado oil for the next dish. So we're going to heat that up and add red pepper and garlic, minced garlic. The same thing with the fourth. This is with 1/4 of a red pepper and a little minced garlic that came from the garden. If you have one of those little plastic meat mashers, please go ahead and use it. It's going to be on my next Walmart order. I need to break all this up while it's cooking with the red pepper and the garlic. Just a little bit of this sauce we're going to mix in. Incorporate some really good flavors going on there. And then, watch this. Over here, Dan. Upside down into the green sauce where the pan is. All right. Thank you, honey. We have 4 enchiladas. There's only 2 of us. You can fix 2 to 3 times more than this if you like. I'm going to put some of that enchilada sauce on top. Okay, next we're going to do some shredded cheese, just a little bit. Remember, just using a little bit of cheese will save you money and calories. We'll check it after 25 minutes. And here are the 2 casseroles, the potato zucchini casserole and beef enchiladas. Thanks for watching today. I hope I showed you how resourceful you can be in the kitchen. It's important to use up the food and not let it go bad. And it's important to try to eat healthy, and cooking from scratch is the way to go. It really saves you a lot of money. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.